What is up, you guys? The Fallout What If here, and today I gotta be doing a video, or what if, which I forgot to do. I was going to do the Baki one, but that needs to be postponed for a little while, because not a lot of people are watching it, so I gotta find a way how to hype it up or something. But if it's going out of style, then it's going out of style. I'll still try to do at least one more part of it. So yeah, pretty much that's it for the time being. Now, what's going to happen here? Who did this? Well, basically, Deku and Ip Man are talking. Deku keeps talking to him about his health and how he's basically sad of the fact that he's getting much more sick and that he should just lay off the freaking smokes. But knowing how Ip Man is, he just says, Izuku, child. Yes, I'm getting much more sick. And yes, I'm always smoking, but it's something that keeps me at peace. And Deku says, why would this keep you at peace? This is killing you. And freaking Ip Man says, listen, Izuku, I've gotten my face punched in so many times. I've gotten shot. Not only that, I've had a lot of injuries in the past. Injuries from his fights from back then, which, give me a second here. Okay. So he tells him about the times that he's fought other people and how hard it was fighting all of them. Because, yeah, this isn't an easy walk in the park fight. He fought Mike Tyson. He also fought a British boxer. Not only that, he technically, fought an army sergeant and another a general, I think, from China or Japan. I really don't know which country he was from. But he says how many times he's gotten injured and all that stuff. So it's hard for him just to sometimes think, oh yeah, I should not smoke, because it's sometimes always on his mind, so he just smokes. So, you know, all that stuff can, all the stuff that he's done probably won't ever happen again. So yeah, Ip Man has been through that stuff in life, and pretty much he's just, you know, doing his own thing. Now, Deku says, alright, sir, I understand, but if you are going through hard things in life, I don't know, I just talk to my mom and all that stuff, and usually that helps me, and that gets me to be much more happier, because I'm not depressed all the time. I really don't know how to say it, but... And this is when Ip Man says, yes, I understand. You talk to people, and it helps you get over it. And he's all like, oh, I could introduce you to something. There has to be something to make you much more, you know, to make you much more better. And Ip Man says, probably not. Look, it's a waste of time, and I think we should just keep going with the training. You've been progressing so well over the couple of for the whole time I've seen you. You've been progressing much more well. It's like you have a knack for this. And Deku's like, yeah, but at the same time, I'm also thinking about you know, doing some other techniques. And he's like, and Ip Man's like, oh, what techniques would you be talking about? And he says, are you talking about the mantis drop? Or probably, how would I say this? Or the snake whip. And here's the thing. Deku, let's say this. Deku never told him, per se, about his new techniques that he was performing. And even though they were training, Deku upgraded it and something like that. And Izuku's like, wait a minute, how did you know? And Deku was like, well, I was there in the Hero Society. I was there in the School of Heroes to see how well you were doing. And Deku was like, oh, yeah, I kind of forgot. And Deku and Ip Man was like, it's all right, Izuku. You did pretty well. You did very well. That was an outstanding move that you did, and you also helped somebody in the very end. I'm proud of you. And he says, let's just go get something to eat. And Deku's like, okay. Now, Deku and Ip Man start eating, and basically this is when Deku meets Ojiro. And this is when Ojiro's like, oh, hey, Izuku. And then he sees Ip Man and is like, oh, hi, mister. And basically she does not know who he is. And this is when Deku is like, Ojiro, remember that you wanted to find Ip Man? And this is when Ip Man just stops him and says, yes, sorry to interrupt, but I heard you guys talking about the famous Ip Man and all that stuff. We know that he lives somewhere around that side of town, and he's pointing somewhere else because he doesn't want anybody to know yet. And this is when Deku's like, but sir, yes. I know. You wanted to tell her, but right now, I'm actually a teacher over there because they wanted somebody who's done good for the world to talk to them. And I said I might as well go and do it. And Deku's like, wait a minute, what kind of teacher will you be? And Deku's like, well, I'm technically not the assistant principal for UA. And this is when Deku says, wait a minute, the assistant principal? So this means that, oh sheesh, give me a second here. There we go. He says, wait a minute, you're the assistant principal? But that means, and he says, yep. I'm actually pretty good at what I do over there. But at the same time, I don't do it all. I don't do the whole assistant principal thing because me and Nezu just, go out sometimes drink tea. And yes, him and Ip Man and Nezu usually are just drinking buddies, but just for tea itself. And basically, Deku is like, oh, I never knew why you never told me. And freaking Ip Man was like, just like you never told me about the whole little, those moves you were doing. And Deku was like, okay. I admit I messed up. Can we call ourselves even? And Ip Man chuckles and says, yes, Izuku, we're even. Don't worry about it. I'm not disappointed or anything. But I just never told you guys because I wanted to keep it a secret. And tell you guys after we go to the USJ facility. And this is when Deku was like, wait a minute, you're going to the USJ facility with us? So you're going to teach us about rescue hero training? And freaking Ip Man says, teach you? No. Somebody else is going to teach you. But I'm just there to observe and to make sure that the students are all right. So basically after that, they go to the USJ facility because nothing much happens besides Deku talking to Ojiro, which Ojiro is pretty shocked at the fact that Deku was just wandering around. And yeah, Ip Man just says goodbye because he doesn't want to get his cover exposed. But yeah. So, we get to the point of time where Deku, Ojiro, and the others, Uraraka as well, go to the USJ facility. And this is when the villains attack. Everybody gets into their respective places, and Deku took some out by using a couple of kicks in the water. Although the kicks are very strong, they are not as fast as they were. Basically, Deku was at least a half of a second too late with kicking. And Deku has to make sure that he's, you know, how would I say it? I really don't know how to say it, but at the same time, he just knows that this was a bad opportunity to just, like, move around. So, Deku and, what's her face? Oh yeah, Deku and freaking, Froppy and Mineta get to their you know, get to the place where they're supposed to go. And Deku and Froppy jump, as well as Mineta. And this time, the whole freaking boat, it breaks. But the debris is so strong. He breaks the debris to the point where everything is cracked. So a lot of debris is falling down into the freaking waters. And it's kind of hard because some of the debris is like sharp wood and all that stuff. So it's taking them a little while. But the sticky balls are there as well. And they can't do a thing about it besides just running away. So, Deku talks to freaking, No, Deku goes into the water. Shigaraki tries to attack, but this is when freaking Deku, grabs the freaking, grabs Shigaraki's hand and basically threw him onto the other side. The Nomu was about to hit him in the face, but Deku, grabs his arm, gets on top of it, and basically is being launched towards the, a villain that's flying around. Deku grabs him and basically takes him out. After that, he lands onto the freaking other villain, grabbing him and basically hitting a lot of chakra points inside of him. Now, Ip Man was supposed to be there, but he had a bit of a cough. So he said that he'll meet them later. And he shouldn't worry about him, he's doing alright. So now we get to the whole point of the part where a lot of the villains are attacking, and this is when Deku is defending a lot of them. Pretty much, Deku is holding himself out, or how would I say this? He's protecting a lot of the students by just redirecting hits and punches, and doing a lot of blows to people's faces, their kneecaps, and all that stuff. Deku is taken in for quite a while, until Deku gets hit in the head. And after that, the other villains start charging at him and start grabbing him and start punching him and kicking him. While this happens, people are stabbing him little by little, and the other heroes are trying to attack, but they're being blocked in. Now, this is when Deku decides to grab somebody's leg and crush it, because he's strong. Don't get me wrong, he's not strong like freaking, how do I say? He can't crush their bones into nothingness. He can basically grab them and hurt them to the point where they're running away, and Deku is just basically trying to defend himself. Now, this is when Ip Man was walking all the way over there, because it's not far away. It's not far by a long shot, but Deku, you know, because of time and how weird that was when everybody came, Ip Man just opened the door and he saw everybody getting hurt. So Ip Man, without a second thought, just starts running to one of the people, and they say, "Oh, look at this old man," trying to grab him, and Ip Man says, Ip Man says, "You are hurting the students, and how dare you?" And how he's just getting like very irritated and very mad at the fact that people are hurting, villains are hurting the people that he must protect, and yet he couldn't do. And it sucks because he wasn't there to do anything. So he's all like, "You are all going to jail, and I'll make sure personally that they throw away the key," grabbing a lot of them, because there's no room for how do I say it? There's no room for, how would I say this? There's no more room for niceness, because yeah, pretty much you mess with Ip Man, he's okay with this. Mess with with the students, yeah, you're pretty much probably going to die. So anyway, here's what's going to happen. Ip Man is just blocking and punching them, punching a lot of them. What's called using their punches and redirecting it to them, and not only that, using Deku's cool moves, using Snake Whip, which basically is kind of like how do I say it? It's basically his arms are so lucid, and so like fast that it's basically like snakes smacking other people. So he's doing that, and not only that, he runs to the biggest person and uses a tiger palm, which it hits the person's heart, and the guy stops moving for the rest of the time. Now Hitman is just blocking and doing little flips and stuff, and he's trying to see Izuku, and now he's running to them doing the grasshopper jumping all this time, and basically just starts hurting all the villains that are doing everything. And not only that, he does a crane kick, which, if you do not know, cranes are very good when it comes to kicking something. They can kick a snake and the snake will die immediately. So he basically crane kicks everybody's faces, and all their faces are smushed in. Oh crap. Okay. So, their faces are smushed in. Deku has to defend, has to get up. And he's basically, Deku is kind of, wobbly right now. Because Itman has seen what happened to Deku. And he's like, Izuku, are you alright? And this is when Izuku says, yes, I am. Oh man, it kind of got me off guard. And this is when Hitman says, yes, make sure you keep your guard up at all times. Even if you don't think that anything's going to happen. You're supposed to keep it on guard, so that way, even when something is about to, even if you weren't prepared for it, you were actually prepared for it. I don't know how to say it, but you should be prepared at all times. Even when nothing's happening. And Deku was like, okay, I'm sorry, sir. And this is when he's like, alright, so you take some on the left, I'll take some on the right. Is that understood? And Deku's like, yeah. And basically, they're both running, starting to do a lot of punches and kicks. Not only that, grappling them, flipping them over and stuff. And after that, Deku and Itman are doing what's it called, the wooden doll stance, which is basically when somebody's legs, how do I say it? I don't know, but if you guys see this wood thing right here, this itself, basically they're doing that kind of position, and basically when somebody tries to attack them, it's basically like hitting a wooden doll, because they can't actually do a thing, and they never knew how this would work. So, Deku is automatically going around, basically holding himself out. After that, Bakugo and the others are still doing their thing. Ojiro sees that guy is Itman. There is nobody else that could have done that. She should have known, because the guy always wears black. Well, he wears a black Chinese robe, so of course he would do that. So anyway, Deku is trying to protect Uraraka, which Uraraka and Froppy are doing their own thing. But as well, the Nomu is trying to attack any of them, but at the same time, he has to try to find the one who attacked Shigaraki. But this is when All Might comes in and does his whole thing. And basically, All Might and the Nomu are fighting each other. Everything happens up to that point now in canon. And basically, freaking All Might is trying to attack still, but he's still not strong. And pretty much Itman and Deku come to his aid. And basically, when the freaking Nomu was trying to attack, he's basically missing a lot, because they do not know, the Nomu doesn't know where he's going to strike next. And basically, since he's never heard of this technique or seen it up close, basically, they are so confused. Not only that, they cannot do a single thing to him. Now, this is when this is when Deku and Itman jump up in the air, hit each other in the foot, and basically launch each other by using the Mantis jump. And basically Deku kicks the freaking Nomu right in the face. After that, he jumps up, and basically Ip Man is right there because he's still up in the air. And after that, Ip Man basically does it for the second time, and basically they're doing this a couple more times, which is basically them doing the Mantis jump, and after that doing the second version of it. And the third version, it goes up to how many times the person is jumping up in the air. Although it's a weird technique to do, and it takes literally a lot of like strength in the legs to do it. They finally completed doing that stuff. Ip Man landed safely because, you know, Ip Man's not heavy at all. And Deku kicks freaking the Nomu in the freaking face. And this is when the Nomu kind of stumbles back. All Might's like, "What are you doing, young man? Why are you here? Get out now." And this is when Deku says, "Look, you're in trouble right now, and we're trying to help you out." And this is when All Might says, "I am not in trouble, boy. You do not know how strong I truly am." And Deku's like, "Well, we're stopping it in a matter of seconds. Well, it took a lot of a fist fight for you two." And this is when Ip Man charges in. Deku's charging him. Deku's using a Tiger Palm, while freaking Ip Man's using a freaking Snake Whip, and it's cutting a lot of the freaking skin. Both of them now using a kind of new move, which is called Turtle Shell. Now, basically, they use their backs for this one, and charging straight through it, basically doing a rotation. If you heard of Mortal Kombat, basically, if you know who Kano is, that's the kind of move that I'm talking about, where he does like a bunch of flips in one, called the Kano Ball. The Kano Ball. And basically hits the freaking Nomu. Then after that, the Deku just jumps up in the air, does a super flip, and chops him in the freaking middle of the head. After that, the Nomu is gone, or dead. And after all that happens, Deku and Ip Man finally won, because Deku didn't know that the brain was... Well, he knew that the brain was the easiest target, but he did not know how strong it was. He thought it was probably nothing else but just decoration. But yeah, he was wrong on that. So, Deku and Ip Man won against freaking... Well, basically won against freaking the Nomu. All Might's mad, and he scolds Deku, but Ip Man shows up and says, "Look, Mr. All Might, sir, I understand that he was not supposed to do that, or fight. As a matter of fact, what he did was still kind of bad. But at the same time, he stopped somebody from hurting a lot of other people, including yourself. And All Might can't actually get mad at that because of all that happening." Ojiro is fangirling right now over Deku and freaking Ip Man because of the whole freaking... These two warriors, these two people who are awesome, fought. And not only that, they succeeded in beating freaking the freaking Nomu. Now, I'm going to leave it off here, and then after that, probably around 9 o'clock, I'll do part 3 to it. I just want to do this like little special one, or probably I'll do my Kratos one or the Hulk one. So, like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout What If here. Bye. Okay, let me see right here.